there, this is Datila with Rangers of Wrestling, bringing you the It's Wrestling Time post show. And for tonight, I will be reviewing AEW Dynamite. So tonight's AEW Dynamite was a go-home show to Forbidden Door. And oh my god, there is so much to talk about in this go-home show. Like, let's start off with Okada. Okada finally made his long-awaited AEW debut tonight after a Hangman's match against Salías Young with Adam Cole Bebe was on commentary. And what ended up happening was that Adam Cole was getting ready to tell a story time. But he was interrupted by Jay White. And then Jay White said that he would love to make this about Bullet Club and would love to give a favor to an old friend. But it's not going to be Adam Cole because Jay White goes on to explain that Adam Cole Bebe lost twice to Hangman Adam Page. And then he enters the ring and he basically tells Hangman that, oh no, actually, before he can even tell Hangman anything, Hangman attacks him. And then Adam Cole comes in to try to, I guess, to make it seem like he was going to help Jay White. But here's the thing, like, Adam Cole grabbed the IWGP title and he was like, going like this. And Jay White had his back to Cole. And Adam Cole looked like he was going to hit Jay White. But then he stopped himself. And then as that was going on, Okada comes out and he saves Hangman from this madness. Now, we still don't know who Jay White's opponent was. He didn't get a chance to say. But later on in the night, we found out it was going to be a fatal four-way. It's going to be Okada versus Adam Cole Bebe versus Hangman Adam Page versus Jay White for the IWGP title at Forbidden Door. Wow, that is going to be an insane match. I cannot wait for that match. Wow, I think everybody at some point was expecting Okada to be at this pay-per-view. I mean, Hangman called him out. That was before he lost the IWGP title to Jay White. And so his status was kind of up in the air and was kind of in limbo. But like I said, I think the majority of people expected him to be at this pay-per-view at some capacity. And now we know he's going to be a part of the IWGP title match. So cannot wait for that match. It's going to be crazy. But tonight's show kicked off with Bryan Danielson basically addressing his status with AEW. He says that he's unfortunately going to miss Forbidden Door and Blood and Guts. Now, he says that it's been a great week for not only AEW, but for pro wrestling in general. He says it's going to be an interpromotional pay-per-view this weekend, of course, referring to Forbidden Door. Let me see. Dirty Heels podcast says, this show was awesome. Way to get people into the pay-per-view. The Christian Cage promo, the Aleister Black match, the Mox match. Awesome. Yeah, definitely. This show had a lot going on for it. This is how you do a go-home show, honestly, but I'll talk more about that later. So he says that he was originally supposed to face Zack Sabre Jr. at Forbidden Door to find out who was really the greatest wrestler between them. Now, if you ask me, I was actually looking forward to that match because that's been a dream match for so many people, and I'm bummed that we're not gonna get that. But I'm hoping somewhere down the road we eventually get that match. His new member is gonna be Gargano or Cesaro. Yes, I definitely do think it's gonna be one of those two. So Bryan says that he found someone to take his place, someone that he trusts, someone who he knows is going to be an amazing match. And because he came out of the bad guy tunnel, he's not going to tell us who it is. So he says this person is one of the greatest technical wrestlers on the planet. Now, Michael 101591 says it's going to be Gargano. Dirty Heel says Gargano or Cesaro. Me personally, I think it's going to be Cesaro. I mean, could you imagine? Just imagine Cesaro against Zack Sabre Jr. Just imagine that. That is going to be an insane match if it is Cesaro. And the person's going to be a new member of BCC. I think Cesaro fits right in, if you ask me. If it's not Cesaro and if it's not Gargano, I can't think of anybody else. But I'm so excited. I cannot wait. I seriously cannot wait for this match. It's going to be insane. And I guess we'll find out on Sunday. We definitely will. Who is taking Bryan Danielson's place against Zack Sabre Jr. Oh, and then to top it off, speaking of Zack Sabre Jr., he appears at the end of this promo. And yep, they definitely sold me who gets the bigger pop. Oh, that's a tough one. It's going to be in Chicago, right? I think both Gargano and Cesaro could probably get as equal pops. Oh, but I don't know. If they were if this pay-per-view was in Cleveland, I'd say Gargano because he's from Cleveland. He's from Ohio, but they're in Chicago. I think maybe Cesaro might get the bigger pops. Okay. Then afterwards, we get a Jon Moxley promo who basically says that tonight is business and it's not personal, but Sunday it's going to be personal. Yeah, Forbidden Door is going to be in Chicago. Oh, I know Forbidden Door is going to be in Chicago. I was just saying, hypothetically speaking, I still think it's Cesaro. I honestly think it's Cesaro or Gargano. I pick Cesaro. No disrespect to Gargano, but I think Cesaro fits in more than Gargano. So, a great promo by Jon Moxley. Again, saying that he doesn't have respect for anybody as soon as that bell rings. So he's basically telling Tanahashi, like, you better watch it. Once that bell rings, it's personal. Then we get Orange Cassidy and Roppongi Vice versus Will Ospreay and Aussie Open. Great match. I really liked Orange Cassidy in this match. I think he did a really good job in playing his role. Oh my god. Orange Cassidy, I've said this before, Orange Cassidy is one of the undisputed kings of comedy and wrestling. Him, Johnny Swinger, and R-Truth. Seriously. Orange Cassidy and Roppongi Vice win this bout. And then at the end, United Empire as well as FTR come out. So they're definitely hyping up that winner takes all match. Cannot wait. Then we get a backstage segment where Jay Lethal, Sonjay Dutt, and Satan Singh basically saying that Jay Lethal basically wants that television championship and he wants Samoa Joe to either relinquish the title or to defend the title against him. No more Will Ospreay on AEW TV. Guys, very talented, entertaining. I honestly think Samoa Joe right now is filming he's filming that show that he got hired for, so I don't know when he's going to be scheduled to be back. Give me a second, you guys. Sorry, my dog was bugging. All right, Satan Great Khali 3.0. Oh my god. Like this, if you want to put it that way. All right. So, shit. So then after that, we get Christian Cage. And he basically explains his heel, why he turned heel. He was saying that he brings up Jungle Boy eliminating him in the Casino Battle Royal last year. And he says that he cost him money, basically. So he's saying that he doesn't care about putting over or helping the next generation. What he cares about is money. So he basically, the crowd starts chanting STF. Guys, if we can finish that, I need to say it. And then Christian says that he was mad because the crowd cheered when he got eliminated instead of booing. And he says he deserves respect because he's a legend. So he says that people like to tweet their opinions on the cesspool social medias, acting like we know the business or know what goes on behind the curtain. This kind of reminds me of the MJF line where he calls us uneducated marks and he starts talking about how we tweet opinions like they matter. So it kind of reminded me of that. he said, yeah, like I said, Jungle Boy cost him a lot of money, and he says it's he says that the type of he says that he has matches that you name pay-per-views after. So talking about the TLC match, which him, the Hardys, and the Dudley Boys and Edge all made famous. And he brings up Jungle Boy's dad, which we all know is the late Luke Perry. Basically, he says that his dad is dead. Ouch. I thought that was like, ow, that was really, ow. That must have hit a nerve. He says that Jungle Boy has all the talent, but not up here. He then they ask him about like what he told his Jungle Boy's mom, and he was saying that his mom needs to apologize to him for giving birth to Jungle Boy. And he says he's not a father figure, and that if his father were alive, he'd be embarrassed and ashamed of Jungle Boy. So dang, Christian cut deep with that father line. Then Luchasaurus comes out, and he basically corners Christian, and like Christian, I don't know if you guys heard, but I heard it. He basically tells Luchasaurus to remember Marco's stunt, and then Luchasaurus kind of like backs off, and then like Christian Cage hugs Luchasaurus, and as Luchasaurus turns around and walks away, Christian has a smile on his face. This was an amazing promo, if you ask me. Amazing promo. His heel run is going to be amazing. Yeah, definitely. I definitely do agree. And this was a really great promo. And I think he gave a very clear, detailed explanation as to why he turned on Jungle Boy. It didn't leave us with our head scratching. It made perfect sense, if you ask me. At least on my end, it did. I don't know how you guys felt about it, but very great promo. And now I'm very curious to see what happens with Luchasaurus. Do you guys think Christian Cage is going to successfully split up Jurassic Express? Like, think about it this way. Jungle Boy I think can be a solo star, and I don't really think he needs Luchasaurus anymore. So I think maybe they split him up. And what if Luchasaurus, with his size and stature, kind of becomes a bodyguard to Christian and like takes off his mask and stuff? Luchasaurus is probably also going to turn on Jungle Boy. I definitely do see that happening. But very great promo by Christian Cage. I cannot wait to see how the rest of his heel turn plays out. Then we get an Undisputed Elite segment, basically saying that they have the tag titles back, and that they're the first ever 2-time tag team champions. And Matt says, of course, you're going to be at the Forbidden Door. They are the keys that opened the door in the first place. And then Hikuleo and ELP and the Young Bucks are going to face Sting, Darby Allin, and I guess 2 partners of their choosing. So, if you're not familiar, ELP and Hikuleo are 2 members of the Bullet Club. And I'm actually very familiar with. I actually met ELP when I went to Impact's Bound for Glory last year, which he's a really nice guy. So I'm very, very excited to see Hikuleo and ELP in action with the Young Bucks. All right, so then after this, we got the qualifying match for the All-Atlantic title. It was Penta Oscuro versus Malakai Black. So this is a good match. I was a little disappointed Penta lost because, I was rooting for Penta. But hey, Malakai Black winning is just as good. So after the match was over, Miro appeared on screen and he basically sent a message to Malakai Black, Pac, and Tomohiro Ishii. So I cannot wait to see. This pay-per-view is amazing. Like, I want to see all the matches on this card, actually. Okay, and so then we get Hangman Adam Page versus Salías Young. Great match. This is actually my first time seeing Salías Young wrestle, and I was very impressed by him. You should have planned for going to Forbidden Door over Money in the Bank. Well, first of all, I didn't know about Forbidden Door until they didn't announce Forbidden Door till after Double or Nothing or before. And the flight to Chicago was pretty expensive because it was so last minute. Had they announced it early in the year, I would have planned for Forbidden Door over Money in the Bank, honestly. But like I said, very impressed by Salías Young. Glad Malakai won it. Yeah. All right. What was I? Oh yeah. So my first time ever seeing him wrestle, very impressed by him. So after this is we get that what I already talked about this in the opening, but basically after this, Adam Cole, who was at ringside, was getting ready to do story time, and then Jay White came out, and then they went after Hangman. Adam Cole kind of teased like he was going to attack Jay White, and then Okada came out, and then it looks like we are getting a fatal 4-way at Forbidden Door. All right, so then we found out Red Velvet is out with an injury, and then after that we got Marina Schafir versus Toni Storm, and I was this match. It's not that I don't like Toni Storm; I like Toni Storm, but Marina Schafir, I feel like she's still pretty green and she needs more work. Look at Jade. She started off really green and she got better as time went on. So I feel like that's what's going to happen. As time goes on, like I think Marina Schafir will get better. It's just never seen Okada wrestle, but I hear he's an amazing talent. Same here. I've actually never seen him wrestle, and I've heard great stuff about him too. So actually, Forbidden Door is going to be my first time ever watching Okada wrestle. So I'm pretty excited about that. So let me see. I heard all AEW fans picking up the remote to change the channel when Marina Schafir came out. That's really messed up. But I just don't like Marina Schafir. I really don't. I mean, well, not actually. No, I should say that. Not that I don't like her. I just think she's still green. All right. So then we get Sting and Darby Allin, who basically Darby Allin's like, he does not believe Kyle O'Reilly isn't medically cleared. He says that him and Sting are going to team up with Shango and Hiromaru. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing that. But that's basically what's going to happen. So he said that they're going to be kicking bodies down the hill. All right. So then the main event, we get Chris Jericho and Lance Archer versus Jon Moxley and Hiroshi and Tanahashi. So this was a good match, like very good match. And oh my God, chaos erupts even before the match starts. Jon Moxley and Tanahashi go after Jericho and Archer. Then once the match starts, you have Jericho and Moxley on the outside, Archer and Tanahashi in the ring, and it's just chaos everywhere. Jericho successfully put Tanahashi in the walls. Guevara, of course, got involved in this, but if he failed to help Chris Jericho in any way, shape, or form. All right, so Jon Moxley and Tanahashi win this, and they stare at each other, like that typical stare down. And then all hell just breaks loose on the outside. So Kingston comes out, he throws a chair at Guevara. Suzuki comes out, the rest of Jericho Appreciation Society comes out. Like pretty much everybody just comes out, and all this chaos is going on while Tanahashi and Mox are basically staring each other in the ring. And that's how this show ends, with that chaos going on around. And that is how you do a go home show. That is how you do a go home show. Let me see. A Dynamite 10 out of 10. Awesome go home show. I like that they didn't have Moxley and Tanahashi not lay one finger at each other. Yeah, I like that too. They did not have one finger on each other. Basically, WWE needs to take notes on how you do go home shows, because Impact's go home show to Summerversary was amazing. This go home show to Forbidden Door was amazing. And next week is a go home show to Raw, to Money in the Bank for Raw and SmackDown. I hate to compare, but I don't think those go home shows are going to be as good as this one or as Impact's. So the only thing I disliked was the women's match, but again, only because of Marina Schafir. So I can't give this a perfect 10, a Ty Dillinger. I am going to snore home show for on SmackDown. That's funny. So I'm going to go ahead and give it a 9.5 out of 10. Close, almost a perfect 10, but not quite. All right, but with that being said, you guys, that concludes this review. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and make sure you hit that bell so you get notified whenever I go live or I release a new video. And I'll see you guys tomorrow after Impact Wrestling.